Okay guys, so third time I'm doing this video. I got interrupted the first couple of times because some cows came over to the bike and I had to cut it a couple of times. So this is the third time I'm doing this. Now, as the title says, today I'm gonna teach you guys how to ride a motorcycle in Jamaica. This is my bike. It's a 2008 Yamaha R6. The right hand side of the motorcycle, it's for braking and acceleration. The left hand side is for shifting, changing gears. Where actually this is the left hand side. Also, you always get onto the bike from the left hand side of the motorcycle. Always. On the right hand side of the motorcycle, you have your front brake, your throttle, kill switch, and your starter right below it. Down here we have our rear brake. The front brake is here. Most of the stopping power of the motorcycle, it's in your front brake. What that means is that you have to be very gentle and very smooth applying pressure to the brake lever. If you're new to riding, I would advise you to use one finger. Why? If you use more than one finger or three fingers, it'll grab too much brake all at once. It's best to use one finger. We have our throttle here. Have to be very smooth on these controls, your braking and your throttle. Applying throttle, you have to be smooth with it. Smooth roll-ons, smooth roll-offs. So you're not like this. On, off, on, off, on, off. That's gonna make the ride very uncomfortable. Especially if you're carrying a girl on the back. She's gonna keep bumping into your helmet and all that stuff, and she not gonna want bother ride with you. So you have to be very smooth with this. Now your kill switch is here. The kill switch, it basically engages the fuel pump of the motorcycle. So when I flick this on, you will hear the fuel pump prime. Hold on. You hear that little thing in the gas tank? That's the fuel pump priming. Now in this position, with it down, if you press the starter below it, the motorcycle will start. If you flick it up and you try to start it, it won't start. The bike, it won't start because the bike is not in neutral. If you want to kill the engine or turn it off, you just flick it up once the bike is running and it will turn the bike off. Or you can turn the key to the left and the bike will turn off. This is the starter. You hold it down. Once the bike starts, you let it go. On to the rear brake now. Most riders that I see in Jamaica, most of them, they don't really use the rear brake. I use my rear brake. I use my rear brake for like slow stuff, like in traffic, making sharp U-turns and all that stuff. Hardly use my front brake for slow stuff. I hope you guys like my sticker. The left hand side of the motorcycle, you have your clutch, your high beam, low beam switch, your indicator, your horn, ignition, your shifter. This is what everybody wants to know about the clutch. It has what is called the friction zone. I'm sure you heard that term before. Now, what the friction zone is It's a point where the motorcycle will try to move without giving it any gas. Every manual transmission vehicle has a clutch. Now, don't worry too much about the clutch. The next video that I'm gonna do, it's gonna be all about getting used to the clutch and applying throttle. So don't worry too much about that. Just know that the clutch is on the left hand side of the motorcycle, the front brake is on the right hand side of the motorcycle. You have your high beam, low beam switch. Flick it up, high beam, flick it down, low beam. By default, all sport bikes, their low beam is always on. Your indicator, which you push left or right and you push it in to cancel. It to the left indicates that you want to go to the left. It's pointing to the left, as you see here. And on the back. Now, if you want to cancel it or turn it off, you push it in like this. You want to go to the right, push it to the right. Below that you have your horn. It may differ on your bike. Some bikes, they have a mode button on the right hand side, and some more buttons are the emergency hazard. I think that's on the Suzuki GSXR, but that's how my bike is set up. The horn is below my indicator here. My horn, it's disconnected because my bike is way louder than my horn because of that thing down there. Very loud. So I have no need for it, so I've disconnected my horn from the bike. In a motorcycle, there are 6 gears. You have first gear, neutral, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Right now the bike is in first now. If I try to rock the motorcycle, it won't actually go anywhere. It will just do like this. That's how you want to park your motorcycle in gear and lock the steering, which I'll show you in a minute how to do that. Now, in first gear now, hold on. In first gear, if I want to go into neutral, I would have to click up, like apply a little bit of pressure, not too much. If you apply too much pressure, it's gonna flick it into second gear. You're gonna apply half the amount of that pressure to go into neutral. Now let me show you guys. If you do like this, the bike is in first gear because you see that the wheel will go just this amount. Now if I were to apply half the amount of pressure here, the bike is gonna be in neutral, whereas the wheel will spin freely. If I click up, it's gonna go into second. So half the amount of pressure you would use to click it back down into neutral now, like this. It's in neutral. The bike will roll. Now, as it relates to shifting gears, don't worry about that, guys. I'm gonna do a separate video on how to shift gears on the motorcycle. Now back to what I was saying about the steering lock. On most sport bikes, you have what is called a steering lock. What that is, you have the option when you put the key in to lock the steering, where the steering will be locked in one direction. Like now, it's locked to the left. How to do it is, you push the key in, push it down, turn to the left, take out the key. The steering is locked. And how I park my motorcycle is, I put it in gear and lock it, and that's how I do it. Every sport bike has a clock display which shows you information like your speed that you're going, your time, your RPM range, your temperature of the engine, your odometer, meaning how many miles are on the bike, or how many miles are on the engine, That's very important when you're gonna buy a used bike, to know how many miles are on the engine. All of them that I know, they have a neutral light switch. If I were to click up and go into neutral, the bike is in neutral. So if I flick the kill switch on and press the starter, it's gonna start. Some bikes, they have a gear indicator and a fuel gauge. The Suzuki's, and I think some of the Kawasaki's have a gear indicator, tells you which gear you're in. Now some of you guys may be saying you want a bike with gear indicator. I really see the need for a gear indicator. That's just my opinion. Once you're riding and you get used to the bike, you'll know which gear you're in based on how hard the motorcycle pulls. Most of the bikes, they have a low fuel light that tells you that you need fuel. Some of them have a fuel gauge. It shows you like about 6 bars how many fuel you have left in the tank. Those are on the RR. This is your gas cap. Most of them you have to take out the key, put it in to turn to open the gas tank. Mine doesn't. The key can be left in, and it's an aftermarket gas tank. Gas cap, I should say. So I don't need a key to open it. Get yourself a helmet. It's very important. Take it from me. Get yourself a helmet. If you have to save up to buy the helmet, save up and buy the helmet, guys. Very important. Now, as it relates to bike riding, you have to be smooth on all the controls, as I said before. And when it comes on to riding, you have to look where you actually want to go. Now also, guys, the series that I'm gonna do, it's gonna focus on mostly everything on riding the motorcycle, cornering, braking, acceleration, all that stuff. So guys, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel to stay updated on the videos. Now I'll probably do the next one about the next week. I'll show you guys how to ride the motorcycle, taking off, stopping, turning, and all that stuff. Now if you enjoyed this video, if I left out anything that is important, go into the comment section, let me know. Please subscribe, like, and share with your friends.